Problem is, we also resent people, business people coming in and telling us what the hell to do. You're not in there seeing the patients.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're wanting to see more and more patients in less and less time and document more and more and to chart all at the same time. When are we supposed to be doing this?
Yeah.
Or when are we supposed to give them care to the patients?
That's the biggest complaint I've been getting from people in the healthcare industry.
Yeah.
They're not having any real time to actually practicing their art as they are to keeping the government happy with dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and keep from getting malpractice.
I mean, I am a bit ambivalent along that line. Mostly, I'm very much in favor of like expansion of the electronic medical record. We would not be able to do what we can do now without a powerful electronic medical record. But what it's going to mean, care is definitely changing, right? Okay, so, I
was speaking to a guy who specializes in microbiology in the medical field, and immediately we got into the nanobot technology, and how about 10 years from now it's going to be Star Trek.
Star Trek, yeah, it wasn't 10 years possible.
So you've seen those changes since you've been in basically hand me the scaffold to.
So we're not going to be all able to have our own choices. We don't want to have our own choices. When I like the choices of health plans, and there's 18 health plans in front of me, and I'm a physician, I don't know what the fuck I should be doing with my own health, choosing my own. How can I choose my own health, my own plan? What are the pluses? You tell me, even a reasonable person, an educated, reasonable person who can go down all those plans and decide for them. Now there are some people who can, because they know if they have diabetes, they're going to want to go here and not here. They don't have any pre-existing conditions, they're going to want to go here and not there. But in general, an average person is not going to know for themselves. I know because I don't know for myself, and I don't know as a physician.
Yes, and again, as someone that's had the opportunity to speak to practically every level of the medical field out here and question them on their expertise. And looking into it myself, I saw where basically the two schools of medicine, the one that you remain healthy, the holistic, you remain healthy, was smothered in favor of the one that let's treat them when they get sick and then let's keep them sick.
Well, that's where we have been, right? It was treating when they get sick and not prevent them. What I do is I take care of patients with really sick heart failure, like a lot of them. But we can do an incredible lot. So if all the hypertension and diabetes in this country was controlled, people wouldn't have to see me. I'm in no danger of losing my job, I can tell you. Okay, the projections are for cardiovascular disease. Well, death from acute heart attacks is way down. They live a lot longer to see people like me because they're living 20, 30 years after their first heart attack. So all roads in cardiology lead to me.
Fits into exactly the plan of the elites, pharmaceutical, the Rockefellers who funded through the Rockefeller Foundations and the bullshit they came off as philanthropists are really eugenicists, because what they want to do is go ahead and drain us of our wealth and our health slowly. So this is really a eugenics program in action. The health.
I don't know if it's all that thought.
No, it is. In their own words. If you read Carol Quigley's Tragedy and Hope, if you look at the book None Dare Call It Conspiracy, it woke me up in '72. This is exactly the program, because just like as we said,
it was very telling. All right, okay, I'm very left-leaning, and frankly, I'm going to say right up front, I don't see how we can avoid a single-payer system with only first world country, right? It doesn't have
fitting right into the eugenics program to think that the people that set up this entire program to go ahead and drain us of our health and our wealth are going to go around and take care of us. Universal health care plan is like handing a gun or a knife to Jeffrey Dahmer and saying, cook me dinner. You're handing the power of the people that want to kill you to set up the program.
Have you ever talked to Canadians? I've talked with
all
Canadian
the time out here.
I've talked with Canadian doctors who talk about how overrated the problems as especially espoused by a lot of people who are very much against sort of single payer would have people believe.
Again, you're putting all the power in the hands of the people that started out the plan to kill you to begin with. You're giving them the... Explain to me why, after trillions of dollars put into finding a cure for cancer, we got more cancer than before. Explain to me why all the money that's put in to go ahead and find a cure for heart disease, you're eyeball deep in business. Like you just said, why? Because all you have to do is educate them. Get them off the food they're eating. Stop putting GMO foods in our damn things. Stop putting fluoride in our water that kills us. Stop putting poison vaccines in there.
But that's not where we're going.
The hell we aren't.
No. What I'm saying is stopping stuff like this, unfortunately, is not where we're going. I mean,
of course not, because the same people you want to give the power to aren't allowing that to happen. They're not putting it in their hands. The majority of the people who know about GMO foods want them labeled. Do you see the powers that be labeling? The majority of the people, would like to go ahead and fluoride out of the water. We have our government mandates us to go ahead and put fluoride in the water. They want us dead.
We're probably on the same side of the GMO argument. However, replacing everything in our diet with GMO foods is going to have a minuscule part of the health market. So I mean, while I'm sympathetic to those arguments, that's not.
But you just admitted that if you got people to eat the right foods that wouldn't be diabetics, you'd be out of business.
Yes, but that has very little to do with just GMO. That has a lot to do with our culture as a U.S. that we are exporting to the rest of the world. I mean, the obesity epidemic.
What I'm saying, which would be stopped with the education. People knew they're eating the poison. That people knew that what was happening with the chemicals that they're eating and drinking. They would stop it. No one's going to willingly poison themselves. But again, I'm telling you, the government that you are supporting, the whole shebang, bullshit, one player, the government's here to take care of us, are the same people that put the poisons in the food. You're giving the syringe to the guy that wants to put the poison in you. And you're saying, take care of me.
No, I'm a physician.
I know you are, and you're completely messed up with this. You might be a good physician, like you said, but I understand the geopolitical situation, where you cannot tell me that after all these years, that they're saying, we're going to fix this, we're going to fix this, and it gets worse and worse and worse. So these people are not representing us. Where? What politician represents you?
So wait a
I've
minute.
been out here for 5 years. I haven't seen my mayor walk by. He hasn't said, hey, Mike, how you doing? I haven't seen my councilman walk by and say, how you doing?
I get a number idea of what a number of things you're against.
But you love the government.
You're not listening to me. I'm asking you a question. I'm getting an idea of what you're against. I haven't yet gotten in the past 10, 15 minutes of what you are for.
I pretty much laid it out for you.
Oh, well, you're GMO.
In other words, scrap the system of medicine we have now and go into the holistic. Teach people how to eat properly. Teach people what nutrition, minerals and vitamins, and stay away from the fluoride and the GMO foods. And then we would need these billion-dollar medical complexes are building up here. Why? Because they expect us to get sick. They want us to get sick so they can drain our wealth.
You know what? I couldn't agree with you more.
Then why would you want to give them more power? Why do you want to give the people that are... The legislature, the governments, the elites that are in power that started, again, the two different schools of medicine, right? The one that keeps you healthy, where they're not going to make money out of. But where's the money you make keeping people healthy? Oh, no, we couldn't have that. Let's go ahead and just make sure they eat crap. Let's not educate them. Let's give them crap. And then when they start getting cancer and heart disease, they'll call on guys like you to drain them of their wealth. That's where it's going. And then when it's all busted down, when the whole system breaks down with the bullshit Obamacare.
Have you been paying any attention about what has actually been happening? That is actually some of the intent of a lot of the tenets of Obamacare. A redistribution from a treatment side to a prevention side. That is a lot of the intent. I've seen it happen in front of my eyes. Okay? I live this every day. Okay? It is very incomplete. But already, so are you familiar with the pay for performance?
Pay for performance. Go ahead and say me.
All right. So you need to learn a little bit about this if you're going to be schooled in
that's just why I learn. I get from experts.
Okay,
I get a piece here, a piece there. So give me yours.
So in sort of our old system, we physicians would get paid for the more stuff we do. Well, guess what? We in medicine did more stuff. So what has been attempted to do, and there has been some progress made on the front, not nearly enough, but to change the pay structure, instead of getting incentivized for doing more, having better outcomes for patients. So the payment is for the performance that are measured by, listen, I've got a lot of problems with performance measures, but the idea is to change the incentive structure so that we don't get just paid for doing more tests, doing more stuff.
Again, the money side of it, yes.
But this is where things have been going over the past 10 years in medicine. Okay, so I have now what are called quality incentives. So if more of my patients' blood pressure is controlled, if more of my diabetic patients are under control, then we are incentivized to at a higher level. So that it's totally different than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, but again.
So I say there has been a little progress has been made, and listen, I got a lot of problems with Obamacare, but a lot of where it was headed it was very much in line with my overall principles of saying, and like I say, I actually think that you and I agree about some of the basic tenets, and that is don't just pay for doing stuff because we're going to do more stuff, okay?
Well, which is a lot of what's going on right now. I mean, when you talk about insurance fraud and everything else.
I agree. I mean, okay, come in. I'll do a heart catheterization on you.
I hear horror stories. People go in.
Stress test.
People go in for a little. They spend 5 minutes with the doctor, and they get a $300-400 bill.
Let me give you a very concrete example. Okay, under how Obamacare came in. So I deal with patients with chronic disease. They get in the hospital a lot, and once they're in the hospital, they're at risk for coming back into the hospital. So our hospitals used to be reimbursed by Medicare, even Medicaid, and certainly by insurance companies. Every time a patient is hospitalized, they used to get paid. Okay, they get hospitalized, bring them in. Well, there's a lot of stuff that, first of all, sometimes it's a decision that you make. There's no incentive to keep patients out of the hospital if you're getting paid to have a hospitalized patient, right?
Again, you're reiterating what I've been bringing up.
Okay, so in 2013, the law changed, the reimbursement model changed from Medicare and Medicaid. If a patient of mine is hospitalized within 30 days of being discharged, our hospital will no longer get paid for that hospitalization. That's about at $15,000 a crack. Hospitals are greatly incentivized to not hospitalize a patient. 30-day window is artificial, but that's what it's a number. It's a number to start, and it's a number. So, for instance, I deal with patients with chronic disease, as I mentioned a few times. We instituted a lot of programs that were oriented towards keeping patients healthier and out of the hospital. Since we started expanding a little bit in about 2010, 2011, anticipating the 2013, and we've continued, our hospitals continue to support, we actually tripled the number of people in my program of chronic heart disease. We decreased the patients being readmitted.
If you get too good at this, saving people's lives, they're going to come after you. You can't have that. They don't want you dead. I keep on reiterating.
Our figure was 24.5% of our patients. So 1 in 4 of our patients had been readmitted within 30 days of being already admitted once. 1 in 4 of them. And that's about the national average. So in the past 8 years, we decreased that readmission rate by 44%. Now only 12.5% of our patients are being readmitted in 30 days. By a rough
This is a
calculation,
program you initiated.
this is a program that, I mean,
You and several other physicians.
well, I direct this program. So
Now, understand, and let me explain. All good, like you say, there are going to be common grounds. There's always, anytime someone pushes the agenda, because I have to go back to this, the two schools of medicine. One, they make money, one, they don't. The powers that be, Merck, the real powers, the Rothschilds, the ones that can fund the research, the ones that can control the education systems, have always done this for one reason and one reason only. This is a prime directive. You have to know this. To keep themselves in power, no matter what.
They're business. They're business. They're to make money.
It's not just beyond a business. I'm talking about like an Elysium type of mentality to go. It's a eugenics program. I would beg you to read Dr. Carol Quigley's book, Tragedy and Hope.
Tragedy and Hope. I've heard of it.
Yeah, Carol Quigley was Bill Clinton's mentor, college professor. The man was allowed to go ahead and roam the libraries of the Illuminati for several years. He was a globalist, very much in favor of the one world government that's being pushed on us. And he wrote Tragedy and Hope. Now, they only originally published 10,000 copies because we were not supposed to read this. This was for the elites. It was like their Bible. It was like their go-to, this blueprint, how we've gone through.
When was it written?
This was written in
80s or 90s?
Yeah, 80s or 90s.
Okay.
Because the other version of this, which is a real thin book I read in 72, is called Non-Dare Call It Conspiracy. Highly recommend that. Yeah, you could read this in a 3-hour sitting. It's a quick book, but goes straight to the point. Names, shows the associations that ties into the eugenics program. Because this is what we're coming to. This is what they know. They knew at this point, because they've kept all the hidden technologies, and they leaked this stuff out to us. Right? But they have the stuff that's always 30, 40, 50 years or 100 years old. They got it already. They know that automation is, it's going to happen. They know that AI intelligence is going to take over, like I say, medicine. And it's going to put, I've talked to a Harvard professor out here in economics on this, and he qualified because I asked him, what's going to happen economically to us in the next 10 years with AI intelligence and robotics? He goes, 50% of us are going to be out of work. They're going to throw 50% away. I say, well, what are they going to do with all these out-of-work people? Same thing they did to us in the past. And they don't need us. The only reason the elites needed us around this far is because they needed slave labor. Anytime in the past when there was excess, they have a war, they famine, they starve to death, whatever. They always find a way to cull the herd, and they're always at top. The 13 original bloodlines are always there. Always. So these people know that in a very short period of time now, there's going to be massive hunger. There's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be Venezuela times 100.
Yeah, I was going to say it's starting in some places on the planet.
This is already happening. The elites are priming us right now. And the eugenics programs, let's put them on. Let's put them on health care, man. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll take care of you folks. The same people that pushed us to this brink knew what was coming. Oh, salivating over getting to walk into the FEMA case. Take care of me. I'm out here in the streets and I got nowhere to go. Yeah, come on in here, just take this shot. It'll be like the Roach Motel. You'll be able to walk in, but you'll never walk out. Now, this is cold, hard fact. This is, if you look up the Bilderberg Group, have you ever heard of that? Once a year, the top 120 of the elites in the world. Talking about the moves and shakers.
Okay, so I mean, you're getting sort of a little bit carried away from what we were talking about.
No, I'm diving right into it because we're always going back to the same people. You got to remember the prime directive. They want to kill us now. They've had enough of us. They don't need us anymore. With AI intelligence and robotics, they can get that to do all the shit work. And then all they have to do is keep a few million of us around to go ahead to experiment on or whatever the hell they want to do with it. They don't need us anymore. Look how the feudal lords treated their people back in the age. Not that long ago. We don't go that far back. 500 years. See how they treated their people. That mentality, that elitist mentality has not left those people. And once they get to the point where you become obsolete because of the machines they're making, you're going to be no different. You'll be put in the field, you can't belong to them. The rest of the rap, because they don't need us anymore. And once you become aware of this, the whole life changes. Because I'm looking at things like this. A lot of people I talk to now know that 9/11 was an inside job. We know it. I've talked to architects, engineers, firemen, policemen that were there that day.
You know, you're getting a little too.
Oh, am I just scaring you a little bit too much with the conspiracy shit?
No, you're not scaring me at all. Because I frankly don't believe a lot of your conspiracy theories.
You can believe in unicorns, pal. I'm talking cold hard facts. I can prove to you that was an inside job right now.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Oh, yeah, well, you're going to be condescending to me now? You're going to, oh, sure, Chris, I'll tell you what, I'll put up money. How about I put up $100 to your channel? And we'll go ahead, and I'm going to prove it to you. $100 to your channel. Oh, come on, Mr. Condescending, you think you know all? I got it on film back here.
I know I don't know it all. I'm a little bit concerned.
Then $100 to your channel, come on. $100 to your channel, let's go. If you want to be condescending to me and giving me that, you know,
you have some very interesting ideas, but I'll come back to. I don't think GMO is the #1 cause. I don't think vaccines are the #1 cause of where we are with healthcare. And the problem is, I think it sidelines a lot of where we need to be going.
I think you're caught in an normalcy bias that has been put into people to think that, you know,
I'm telling you, I don't agree with the system we have now.
That's going beyond the system. Indeed, the system is broken.
That's where I agree with you.
I'm giving you the end game of why they want to do this. I mean, why are things always screwed up? Why do we keep on after, no matter who we put in office, that the things we want are never seen? I mean, we want the wars ended, the wars ended. We want drugs legalized and regulated. That never happens. We want GMO foods labeled, they tell us go to heck. We want fluoride in the water, the government mandates it's put in. So tell me where this government gives a shit about my health. And then you tell me that they wouldn't go ahead. Who benefited from 9/11? Was it the Arabs? Was it the Muslims? No. Who benefited from it? When you look at a crime, you go, who benefited? Well, who benefited from 9/11?
I'm not here to talk about 9/11.
Of course you are. Yeah, because that scares you to death to realize that everything you believe in, your belief system, I can pull out from underneath you right now.
You are assuming what my belief system is, which I don't like right there.
Do you believe 9/11 was an inside job?
You don't know what my belief system is. If you want to talk about healthcare, we were going fine on that discussion. But you bring in all this other shit.
Am I scaring you?
No, you're starting to sound very paranoid. I have some patients like that and pretty extreme.
Oh, so now I'm in that thing.
Have a good day.
I said 110 to 1 odds. Doc, condescending bastard.